I'm Zach Clayton of Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channels. We have two choices. We can either sit around and hope this goes away on its own, or we together can do something about it. Join me and my wonderful sponsor partners, Scott O'Sullivan Law Firm and Ryder Justice, Z World Webs, Auxilia Donor Management Systems, and Autumn Dahlia Creative Services, as we introduce programs from around the country aimed at helping our veterans and discuss the importance of conversation and listening. Together, you and I can move mountains. Let's save lives.
Show me the way. You wanna be a part of Sunset Boulevard.
Good, I guess it's evening, everyone. How's it going? It is a Wednesday. I almost said Friday because, I don't understand calendars anymore. It's because I'm drinking a little too much wine. Nah, never. Couldn't be that. Hey, everybody, it's pACT, and we have some great news tonight concerning Community Mission to Rescue 22 that Stephanie and I are going to announce. It's a pretty awesome of her to do. So please stick around towards the end. We will be talking to the wonderful Zita from Zita's Healthy Beginnings, and the Goddess of the Grape is also here. So how fantastic is that to actually have people here instead of you guys just having to listen to me, which I know, I've been told many times that not only do I have a face for radio, but I've got a voice for silent movies. So, I should just be quiet. But I do want to mention that we are doing fantastic. We're going to be having some interviews and stuff on 93.5 Pirate Radio here in Northern Colorado, which is great. I want to thank everybody, Stephanie and her wonderful family. They have sponsored this event, so you're going to be seeing a lot of Stephanie during this on February 22nd. Remember, this is about saving lives. This isn't just about us having a lot of fun. This is about starting the conversation, holding that conversation, and making sure that everybody understands that, you know what? The decision to take a life and save a life is very, very thin. And if you can say the right thing, and if you can pay attention, we can save these lives. So let's build these conversations and help them out. We're also going to be talking to some wonderful, wonderful organizations who are working very, very hard to make sure that we can take care of our heroes who give up a portion of their life and provide safety and support for our veterans. Well, it is time to bring the show to a beginning. And I would like to first bring in my co-host, my friend, the goddess of the grape, Miss Stephanie Samos. How you doing, sweetie?
Hi, Zach. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. Gosh, I'm excited about your upcoming event, but I'm really happy to be here tonight.
Well, people like you're helping us get on to 93.5, and you're also making it to where, you know what, we're looking at trying to help at least a dozen organizations that are saving lives. And with your support, this can be done. We can raise a little bit of money. How much we're going to raise, we don't know yet, but we're going to have the donation. We're going to have the donation tag on there so people can take and join us and help support us and everything. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So,
huge congratulations. You're reaching a broader audience. That's awesome.
Well, I think it's wonderful. And again, I couldn't be doing it without you. So we are now joined by the star of the show. Once again, a great friend, a lady who quite honestly has put possibly the most important podcast out there called World of Women on every Tuesday night. It's such a fantastic show. And guys, it's called World of Women, but she asks you to come on and join her. And she gives you a chance to speak. You can ask questions. Don't just sit there and watch. Participate. It's a lot of fun. She's a very, very wonderful woman, and I am so proud to introduce you to Zita. Hello, sweetie. How are you tonight?
I'm fine. Hi, Zach. Hi, Stephanie.
So nice to meet you, Miss Zita.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, this is the first time that you two have been able to meet. We had to split it up the first part of the show, first part of the month, but now this is great that we all get to sit down together and we all get to do this. Stephanie, this is going to be a little different than what we've done before. You watched the first show. I sent it to you. Do you have any questions that popped up for Zita? Or, you and I talked about your experience, and I think that that would be wonderful for you to share with Zita, because that way she could hear from someone else who really loves what she does.
I really love what you do. And so much from that interview struck, a chord with me. I am a mother of 4. I have one more on the way. This is actually the first time I'm saying that, because we officially announced it that we have number 5 on the way. But I was telling Zach that, if I had support from someone like you with my first, I think my experience with trying to nurse would have been different. I kind of touched upon, without going into too much detail, because I didn't want to freak Zach out, but, I was back in the hospital with mastitis, and that was like a recurring thing. And so I think if I had someone with that experience to help guide me along that way, it would have been a bit different. But I love what you do, and the insurance companies need to be covering that kind of support for women, because
I know
really the first time fathers don't know. My husband didn't want to pick up the baby in the beginning. You bathe him, you pick him up. I don't know what to do with that. He's too small. I'm scared. Luckily he was a little seasoned the second time around when we had twins, because I was like, oh no, now there's 2. Let's go. Anyway, I'm going to give you the floor, Zita, but I love what you're doing and how you're sharing that education. And I am with you with really bringing back the midwives and the natural births, opposed to the doctors trying to take over. I've been in that situation more than once. They were trying to, just schedule you for a C-section because it's easier, right? They can charge the insurance more money.
Right.
It's more convenient. Why are you going to cut my stomach open when I've had success with big babies? That doesn't make any sense. So anyway, thank you for being here and being a part of this show. And thank you just for sharing everything.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Really, you're my kind of mom. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I know it's not easy. You don't even look like you had one, not to talk about the fifth one on the way.
Yeah, and Zita, she had twins. She had twins. So,
oh, wow.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, that's even more challenging, Oh,
natural birth too, Miss Zita. I declined the C-section over and over and over again. And I said, no way, as long as the babies are healthy and they can be born without anything, anything for them. I wasn't signing a form for a C-section unless they were at risk. If they were at risk, then fine. But
yeah.
And they were fine. Baby A was ready to go, and they had to turn baby B. No big deal. It wasn't a big deal.
I mean,
1, 2, 3, and out.
Exactly.
Is this a problem, Zita? Is this a problem that, I think a lot of times, and especially with what I've went through with my head injury and stuff, there's a lot of times that it feels like you're in that, just an assembly line where you're a number, you're not even a name anymore.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Okay, there's a baby, let's get this baby done and gone, and I'm never going to see him again. Who gives a damn?
Right.
Is that kind of what we're going with? Is that what we're experiencing right now?
Yeah, and that's really wrong. We're not just numbers. When I think about women, for me, every single woman counts, every single baby counts. It's very important that we position ourselves in such a way that we can address issues, address situations, critical ones for that matter, because what we're dealing with right now is with a culture that only wants to lump it all together and keep going. As long as they can get their own compensation at the detriment of other women and men, they don't mind. And I kept saying that I did my midwifery in Nigeria. I practiced in England, Ireland before coming to the United States. So, and in Africa, you don't have this whole, of course, we were not privileged to, deliver women in the hospital, but there was no way women should be delivered in the hospital because that's not where to deliver babies. We deliver babies either in their homes or in the birthing center, for crying out loud. Before a woman can go to the hospital, the midwife must have done everything under her care. And if there are issues, which she as a midwife will detect and on time, and she will send the woman to the hospital. She knows what to do. And that's like 1%. Now we are seeing 1% is now flipped around. It's now 1% having their normal birth. And then you have the 99 heading to the hospital. Why? Because it's a big deal right now. It's a booming business. It's a lot of money. And they think they're making it easier for our young women. No, they're not. Because when you listen to all the side effects, from the cut they give to you, to the anesthesia they give to you, to the baby that they just take out and then start pumping all kinds of food in baby's mouth. I mean, like, it is horrible. That should not happen.
Yeah, Stephanie, you mentioned something that I really think is one of the reasons why what Zita's doing is so important, because you're right. When Free was born, my oldest boy, when he was born, I took, and the doctor wanted to hand him to me, and I'm like, that's a small human being. I don't want that, I love the creature, but putting my hands around it, that thing can break. I don't, quite frankly, it was a little bit better when Justice was born, but it wasn't, I still wasn't, as prepared as I should have been. So having someone there that could have supported the moms would, to me, it could have made a lot, could have made it a lot easier on them, because I'm a guy who, I remember, my first wife, she was sleeping. They gave her the drugs to sleep. And I was like going, what about me? Give me something to sleep. So, what did I do? I walked around the hospital and, the entire hospital for hours and hours and hours. And, but I don't know in hindsight how much help I was, but I can guess. And the words "not much" keep coming to my head. So, having someone in there that could have really, understood and who has dealt with other women who have given birth, for the first time. I think that that's something that could really, really be helpful. So, Zita, for those who are joining us today that have never seen you or don't know anything about Zita's Healthy Beginnings, can you please give us the story on how this all began? Because this began with, and I'm just going to say it, your mother is amazing.
I know.
Amazing. So,
yeah. Thank you so much, Zach, for giving me this opportunity again. As you know, my name is Sister Zita Iwu. I'm originally from Nigeria. I am a nurse and a midwife. And I came to the United States like 20 years ago. And prior to me coming here, I have worked in different parts of Africa, different countries, Ireland and England. And all this while, I have been working with women and children for the most part. I love accompanying women and families because I know the critical need of, caregivers to families, especially to women. I know men are really very important in family, but you will agree with me that women have been endowed naturally with all it takes to build a family. So the man is there, yes. But once you have a woman who understands, and of course, a lot of women do, that the family is taken care of. And therefore, we need to support them in every way and any way possible. So that was what really made me, I was inclined to taking care of women for that reason, and taking care of families and all that. So then when I came to the United States, I started, looking around. I worked in different capacities, worked as a pediatric nurse, worked as a NICU nurse, worked with the health department, became in that with maternal and child care. And all this while, it's like dealing with moms and babies and moms and babies. And at some point, I asked myself, how did all this start? Why am I really kind of glued to women and child care? And then my reflection was, like you rightly said, my childhood experience. So I am actually a beneficiary of breast milk. So, and it happened that when I was born, late 60s, early 70s, we did not have in my country the Western the medical services like hospitals. So pretty much what you have is birthing centers, and maybe one hospital you would see in maybe 3 or 4 states. So that tells you that it's really very, very rare. Very, of course, we can't afford it for the most part. And people were not actually interested in going because they did not understand what that was about at that time. So my mom got pregnant with me 7.5 months to 8 months. At that time, Stephanie can tell you how heavy pregnancy becomes at that time. You just want to get it out, let something come out, and so you can take care of yourself. So my mom went to the market. They went to flea market. And at that point, she couldn't really, they walked a very long distance, got to the market, they say to my mom to sit down and just watch, what they bring to her, whatever people purchase, they bring for her to watch. So one guy bought a little dog and brought to my mom to take care of it. As soon as the guy left, the little dog turned around and bit my mom and ran away. Yes. So they found out that it was a stray dog. There and then they say to my mom, you're not going to go home. You're going to go to the hospital. And the hospital we're talking about wasn't really just to, go move across the city, the highway and then get the service. No, it was like 30 miles. So my dad brought his bicycle, and Stephanie, just phantom this. My dad brought a bicycle and my mom was sitting at the back of his bicycle. How comfortable was that? So they traveled 30 miles each way for 7 days to get the anti-rabies injection to protect her and myself. So, okay, fast forward, nine months came. I was born. 4 weeks into the whole thing, I became sick with bronchitis. I was coughing. I couldn't sleep well. I couldn't suck. And in my culture, a baby should not be taken outside the house until the baby turns 12 weeks. So that's 3 months. So actually, at that time, at 4 weeks, it was a no. What my mom did was she was begging my dad to please let me take this child to the hospital. My dad was willing, but my dad's townspeople did not let that happen. They said to her, we are not allowing you to go. If this child wants to leave, she will leave. If she doesn't want to leave, that's her fate. And my mom said, over her dead body, will she really watch her child die? Stephanie, you know that feeling of a mom? My mom took me at the back of her back, tied a cloth around me, and she walked against their advice. My mom walked by foot, and she was stopping every time to breastfeed me under that heat, 120 degrees. She walked to this hospital and got there by sundown. And needless to say that she was sick herself. So the missionaries, nurses and doctors really were so kind to her and to me. They took us in for 7 good days. We were in the hospital. Now, what saved me was the breastfeeding, because there was nothing else that was allowed, in my culture. You got to breastfeed your baby for 6 months. So my mom had to keep drinking water, keep breastfeeding me. And I survived just because of that breast milk. It was really precious. So, and that's why I'm holding on to that, because that was what saved my life. Nothing else did. And my mom's courage and resilience. So after 7 days, I felt better. My mom was better. Now my mom had to also do the same trip, 30 miles back. But on the way, she was like, remember that, of course, you left without permission. Where are you going? So my mom went to her dad, who was a traditional birth attendant. They called him a home doctor. He went, to people's homes delivering women. So she went there and told him what happened. So my granddad sent 2 delegates, young men, to escort my mom to my dad's house. And that was a strong signal that you don't do anything to her and the baby. And that was what saved us. So when I was 7 years old, my mom started sharing her ordeals with me. And I'm like, oh my God, what a way, to go through pregnancy, childbirth, and being treated this way. So I said, when I grow up, that I'm going to take care of women and I'm going to do it globally. And my mom laughed. And she's like, wow, you going to take care of everybody? We'll see. So be careful what you say, because What I said at 7 years old is what I'm doing right now. And that's going around as a missionary, taking care of women and children, sharing my story so women can understand their role as women, how significant that is. And to know that they're being empowered by someone who has benefited by the strength, the resilience, and the support of a woman. And know that nothing is impossible under the sun for any woman. All they need is support. Once the woman gets that little support, you can see her fly. She can take care of every situation. And Stephanie, you can witness to that. So yeah, that's my short story. And when I came to the United States, I saw things weren't the same. I did think that actually the United States, that everything's perfect, that women have their babies, every baby is healthy, everybody gets the healthcare services. That was my thought. I was wrong. When I started working with the healthcare, with a health department, I realized that a lot of women, many women, immigrants, minority women, were really left out. The medical services, they are very, very available, but they're not accessible to this group of women. And I'm like, what should I do really? Then when I see the mortality rate that nobody talks about, that's even the annoying part of it. Nobody talks about it. That's not a concern. When you look at the mortality rate of mothers and babies unnecessarily, it makes me cry. And I'm like, okay, what should I do as a midwife? Birthing is a gift. Birthing is a celebration. It shouldn't be a life sentence. So I found out that, okay, I'm a midwife. I can really start a nonprofit just to share my own story, but also share my skills and talents and let people know that this is doable. You can save your baby actually through breast milk alone, at least for 6 months. And then you start giving them the natural food and watch that baby grow with high IQ, less infection, less obesity. I mean, like finding a child that is really growing in a healthy way. And the mom has benefits too. Look at all this cancer rearing its head everywhere. A woman that breastfeeds stands a better chance of reducing the incidence of cancer, breast cancer, ovarian cancer, and all kinds of cancers. It helps them with their management of weight. Postpartum management, weight, it's not easy to get rid of. But if you're breastfeeding your baby, that's very easy to achieve. It helps them also to do birth control if they do it in the right way. All I think that women need to be educated. Men are really scared. They're so happy. Men also appear to be very strong, but they're not when it comes to dealing with the delicate babies.
No, we are not.
No, you're not. So part of my work is to help you to understand that those babies are not as delicate as you think. Just to be patient with yourself, get rid of your fears, try during pregnancy to listen to me, talk to your wife or your partner, and let's go through it, work together, so that when it's time for you to hold your wife as that baby brings the head, that you're ready and say, yeah, welcome, baby, here we are. And not trying to run away from the labor room, because that's not what it should be, so.
Well, I think that this is a wonderful connection because you guys are both in Pennsylvania, so I think you guys can be getting together. Hey, Stephanie, I would like you to take in real quick, explain this flyer, please.
Yeah, sure. So that QR code, you can take out your phone camera, hold it up to that QR code, and it will take you directly to the fundraising link for Zita's Healthy Beginnings. anything on the website is going to donate back 10%. And in addition to that, when we hit $50 collectively as a group, I'm personally going to donate another 25. So think Valentine's Day, think gifting, all the things. And we'll talk about some gifts in a little bit. But my goodness, Zach, can I comment really quick? Because I have so much I want to say.
Oh, yes, please.
First of all, when you're 9 months pregnant, bumps in a car, you feel everything. Okay. So the fact that she was on a bike blows my mind. But it shows that mothers will go and move mountains for their children.
Yes.
I was lucky enough to have a doctor that I knew for a while in New Jersey when we lived there. Moved up here. My first 3 children were born in New Jersey. And yes, prior to that doctor that I loved, I did have much of a meat factory kind of situation with a group where you were a number and you just got pushed through the system. And it didn't work for me because I have complications and I tend to miscarry in my first trimester. So that didn't work. I needed, somebody that I could talk to that understood my situation. And it wasn't just a, follow the line type of situation. So moving up here, it was a little bit scary when, I was having my 4th. I was lucky to find a group with midwives and doctors. And truthfully, I can't say enough great things. It was nerve-wracking, going into it, but they took my birth plan and they followed it to the T. A couple of the doctors along the way made comments that the baby was big. I don't care. I had an 8.5 pound baby the first time. So bring on the big babies. It's okay. We're not scheduling a C-section, but not everybody is that way. So to have somebody to advocate for you, to say, no, this mother wants X, Y, and Z during her delivery.
Right.
I push to make sure, we're not in a rush. Delay the cord cutting. I want all the blood to go through first.
Exactly.
I want it to be white before you cut it. The doctors are like, boom, 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 cut, snip, done, boom, I'm out the room and on to the next one. I was lucky to deliver with the midwives. So I applaud you for everything that you're doing. I can go on and on, but I won't.
Thank you.
But we should definitely connect because what you're doing is great.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I think that the stories that you told, in which last time, I'm not sure if you really touched on how much your mom she put her own life in danger because of the village, because of the elders in the village. And I mean, what Stephanie just said about the big baby, I think it really draws attention to how much mothers are superheroes. They truly are, because you know what, you guys, you women can take and damn it, this is my child. I will take care of this child, and we're going to do it my way. And I think that's super, super great, because they do try to, as Stephanie said, okay, snip, clip, on to the next.
Yeah, I hear so many people scheduled for C-section, Zach, and early on, I think that it's definitely being pushed on women more than it's medically necessary.
Exactly.
For convenience and for everybody's pocket. I hate to say that, but it's a business,
Yes.
And C-sections have difficulties, just as many, if not more difficulties than regular birth. I mean, I sat in there when Justice was born in a C-section. This one was a necessary C-section, but and excuse the graphic nature of this, but I saw my wife's guts be placed on her chest so they can pull the baby out. Okay. Your body's not built to do that. That's not something that you're built to do. And I'm going to tell you something. I definitely made sure that they understood that I was not expecting to see that, because I was like, what the hell is that? I was like, oh my God, those are not supposed to be there. Put them back. So, but so, it's amazing the story that you tell. I mean, I cannot imagine what your mom had to go through. You know,
But
you mentioned,
it's similar, Zach. It's similar to its culture. But we're also finding those cultures all around. Look at what Steph was saying about the doctors, like maybe putting it in her head that you have the tendency of having big babies. We're going to have to get the babies out. That's a culture. That's a medical culture that we have going around right now. They try to frighten the women. They try to make them think that they are not able to do it anymore. But in the last how many decades, our moms were pushing out the baby. So are they not the same women? Are they not the same anatomy? What is the problem right now that women cannot have their babies? I was 9 pounds when my mom had me. I mean, there's nothing wrong in having a big baby. The thing is, you look at the woman, like I'm saying, always pay attention to the woman, and it is the job of the midwife. It is not the job of the doctor. Pregnancy is not a disease, for Christ's sake. Therefore, don't make it sound like a disease. Unless a woman comes down with diabetes in pregnancy, which is also conditional, it's just that pregnancy that is making her, which everybody understands, is the hormonal changes, which you have to sit down with the woman and the husband and talk about it. Tell her what she should do. She will do it and be happy and have a baby and be happy about it, and not putting her through all this unnecessary stress, fear, and everything else. And you want to cut her open unnecessarily. That is not right, but that's the culture.
It's true. It's true. They sent me for so many ultrasounds to keep measuring. They were off. When I had that baby, my husband went, he's a lot smaller than Tristan was. Oh, yeah, I had an 8.5-pound baby as my first one. My twins were 6.5 pounds each. That's a different situation, but still big for twins. And then Zach's laughing. Yes, I had 13 pounds of baby all at one time.
I would like to say I'm laughing, but I mean, that's the only thing I can do right now, because I'm picturing you with 13 pounds of human life inside of you. And I'm like,
I was as wide as I am tall, Zach. That's the honest truth. As wide as I am tall with 13 pounds of baby. But then my last one, which they were sending me for scans. Oh, he's going to be big. He's going to be big. Can I tell you, they were over a pound off on his weight? Come on. 7 pounds, 6 ounces. He's a normal size baby.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no reason.
What's the big deal? I mean, it's, I don't know. It's the whole thing of the whole business, the whole culture. It has to change. It got to change. Zita, we don't need all that.
In these cases, in a case where you've got a doctor who's trying to take and force, like what happened with Stephanie, where they're trying to push the C-section on her. What benefit is there for the mother when there is a midwife or a doula?
Okay, the benefit there is the doula or the midwife has the history of the mother, reminds them about, okay, here, like Stephanie said, we're not talking of a primate mother here. We're talking about a woman who has had her first baby. Can we go back and look at what the baby weighed? The first child, what did the baby weigh? So can you guys go back and quickly look at her history before you start talking about all of this? Look at her prenatal visits. Was there anything that was ringing a bell that this woman would not have a baby normal? It's only, so you are the only one, because when Stephanie's in labor, she's not even hearing what we're saying. She can hardly hear the midwife or understand when you say open your mouth and breathe. She's not even hearing you, not to talk about something that happened how many years ago. So the midwife is there to make sure that everything Stephanie wanted for her baby and herself, we must follow it to the letter. Unless there is something, of course, if there's something abnormal, We also start from step one and go through, to the highest step you want to intervention you want to do. But when you don't have a midwife, you don't have a doula, they decide what they're gonna do and they think they're doing you a favor. And let me tell you, at that critical moment, you believe them.
Yeah.
Because you just want to get over this. But if a nurse is there, a midwife is there, a doula is there, no, we're gonna say, wait, let us just look at this. I have an example quickly I want to share with you in one of the famous hospitals here in Pittsburgh. I don't want to call their names because when I was interviewed in one of the newspapers, I didn't want to call their name, and people really figured out who they were. So, I was with this woman. Her sister died 6 months prior giving birth. Her sister died 6 months giving birth. And her sister developed, Stephanie, you will know this, preeclampsia during pregnancy, which made her high risk at that point. But then when she went in labor, I don't know what happened. They didn't catch it on time. She died, and of course the baby died. So I called the doctor. I told them that this woman's sister just passed away. What does that mean to a woman who is pregnant 3 months and her sister has already passed away? She was really growing, or her baby was growing in fear. She was full of fears. So I said to the doctor, please pay attention to this woman because she is so full of fear because her sister passed away giving birth and her blood pressure is spiking up, which is normal for pregnancy, but also for somebody going through that kind of stress. But we were helping her. I was visiting her, making sure that she was okay. Come time for her to deliver, they allowed this woman, that was her first baby, to labor for 24 hours with no water, nothing, because they were planning to do cesarean section on her. And when I found out, this was happening on a Sunday. So Monday morning, she called me. I was at work and she said, come, I'm dying. I'm like, what is going on? She said, I'm in the hospital since yesterday, 24 hours now. Nobody's giving me anything, not even ice cubes. They were doing that because the whole plan is to make her accept cesarean section. So when I immediately heard that, I went to my supervisor. I said, I'm going to that hospital right now. And she said to me, oh, take it easy when you get there. So I ran to the hospital, went to her room, and there she was. I held her hands, and I'm like, what is going on? And she said, everybody's coming to look at her, putting their feet. I'm like, you're not supposed to be examining her like that. You're not even supposed to be doing what you're doing to her. Did you read her history? Why are you doing this? What really made you guys think that this woman is not going to be able to deliver? Somebody said, oh, yeah, you know what? Her pelvis is not really normal. I'm like, we shouldn't be really watching her pelvis today. That was supposed to be done 4 months ago. You're just doing it at the wrong time. I was so mad, but it was too late. So the doctor came in. She wasn't happy that I was there, and I wasn't happy she was there either. But anyway, she went ahead, and an anesthesiologist gave her whatever she gave her. And I was asking her, so what are you giving her? She just turned around, and the lady coded. I said to her, come back. She has coded. Just come back. If I was not in that room, that woman would have died.
Yeah. It's
really it's scary. That's all I can say. It is.
Well, and this is, guys, let me put it this way, okay? Imagine this, you stub your toe at 2:00 in the morning. The last thing in the world you're thinking about is what the hell you're out there to do. You're trying to figure out who moved that table in your way, and how did it become so hard and all that other thing. That's what they're trying to do. That's like that's an example of what's going on. A woman is probably in more, not just the pain itself, right? but also there's fear there, isn't there? You know, and especially the first time. Is there not fear that, you know, oh my God, am I going to do something wrong? Is something going to happen? You know, what do I need to do to not hurt this baby? Are those are all fears that women have? Am I wrong on this?
Yeah.
So, you know,
they're very normal, natural fears. And people should help them to alleviate that fear and not make it worse, because it's not helping them. It's not helping anybody.
Right. Well, I think what you're doing, Zita, trying to bring this back, I think it's going to raise a lot of awareness. And I truly think it's something that the awareness needs to be raised, because as Stephanie and you know, you yourself have said, insurance companies need to bring this back. Insurance, there's a lot of things wrong with insurance companies.
Yes.
I am not a fan of insurance companies. Anybody who's watched my show more than once understands that the insurance companies, I feel, did more damage to me after my motorcycle incident than they did any good, you know, because they delayed things happening. And just cause so much difficulty. And insurance companies in a lot of areas, they need to realize that, you know what, this is something that you could potentially do mental harm to a mother, because you're pushing them in and out as quickly as you are shoving serious surgeries into their face. This isn't removing a wart. This is a child being born, and you're asking them for your own benefit to cut and walk. So, Stephanie?
No, I just think that it's so important for women to realize that there is more than one choice. There is more than one avenue. There is not just the direction that their doctor is pushing them in. And it's so important to have women like Zita to consult with, to talk the pros and cons through. You know, I talked to my midwife before my fourth. I explained to her what was on my birth plan, why I chose to decline certain things, and you know, and push things back, and you know, all the things, and talked through it with her. She understood, gave her opinion, but they followed my choices, you know. And handing that piece of paper to my husband, to be completely honest, he's like, what does that even mean? No, so you need to have somebody that understands, and like this developed, you know, I'm not a first-time mom anymore, so I'm, you know, through the process with my kids and things that have happened, I have kind of changed the way I do things, and diets and all kinds of things, the way we feed them, everything. So I think it's really important, though, to have, when you're in labor and you can't speak for yourself, somebody who has your best interest and that knows what your interests are.
Well, we know that you're very early in this child, but when you walked in there, you know, as you said, you're now a well seasoned mom. You've done this once or twice. Is it now easier to walk in and tell the doctor, hey?
You know, I haven't seen the doctor yet, except for the one that saw my most recent ultrasound. And that went really well. But I've been seeing regularly the midwife who delivered my last son. And I mean, 24 hours of labor, Zita, I can't even imagine, because my first one, my water broke at home. I wasn't even having contractions. 8 hours later, he was born. I was contracting for a few hours, and he was done. And he was a big boy. My twins, I was begging him to just break my water, please. I've been having contractions for 2 months already. Can we just move this along? And under 2 hours, and they were born. And it was just over 2 hours with my fourth. So I am very thankful and grateful that I don't have to suffer like that for a long time, like a lot of women do. Zach, what was your other question?
just now when you walk in, you know exactly what to say now.
Yeah. I just said, like, I'm really excited. We're in our second trimester. We made it over the hump. Should be smooth sailing now until delivery. And, you know,
Right.
I know the last time when I walked in there and I said to them, then they didn't have a room for me when I first went in. So I walked around the hospital for like 2 hours with my daughter before. And this was pre-COVID, of course. So we just walked until they had space for me. And then I was bouncing on a ball, eating a sandwich because I was not having a C-section. So I was eating. I was eating. And, you know, finally, when they had room for me, I said, you know, I'm obviously progressing. Can we just, you know, make this fast for you and for me? And I think the nurses all in the room were like, yeah, okay, lady. Like I said, I'm telling you, my last one, less than 2 hours for my twins. If you just break my water and move things along, we'll get things moving. And afterwards, the girl said to me, wow, I think you were made for this. Are you going to have more? I was like, this is number 4. I don't know about that. How are you talking to me about this right now? I just had a baby. But here we are.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. If that lady's in there the next time, Stephanie, she's going to go, no more, huh? No more.
But they were very kind to me. And for a first experience, it was a great one. You know, Zita, I'm sure you've experienced sometimes some practices are a little bit more of a nightmare. So I was happy to have people who, you know, there was no discussion that day. They took my birth plan, took the copy and said, okay, let's go. Perfect.
Right.
No. Well, Zita, one last question for you, and then we're going to hear from Stephanie about some wonderful things that they've got going on. What are some of the things that these donations, that when people donate to Zita's Healthy Beginnings, what are some of the things that those donations are going for?
Yeah, so when people donate to us, 99.9% of their donation goes to supporting women in different ways. One of them is we have training for doulas that need, cost money to get done. We have village health workers, community health workers also that we're training to really start educating people, creating that awareness, about the need for doulas and midwives. So we have, and then, the health education in general for families. And then you have, we talk about women trying to also empower them. So in my country, we are doing, so this organization is here in the United States and also in Africa. So here in the United States, the 2 programs I've mentioned, talking about doula training, we're also talking about advocacy as well. It's another thing that we do, different platforms. But the education for me is very, very important. That if we're educating, training doulas, training health care, community health workers, that will go far, in really doing this whole education of the population about what, the essence of this whole protocol when it comes to birthing, pregnancy, and so forth. And then in my country, Nigeria, right now, we are talking about healthcare that is in existence here. But in Africa, most of the places that still don't have, that standardized birthing centers or maternity. So the money we're also collecting, we're helping to construct this maternity hospital that will really help. I am hoping to do that here, also to see, just to let people know that a woman can really go through all pregnancy and do everything in a birthing center in maternity and don't have to go to the hospital to have a baby, because that's not, in my opinion, that's not where you give birth to babies. You give birth to babies at the birthing center where babies are born. So I have that as a plan. Right now, what we're also doing is we have an organic farm where we're helping women to really plant fruits and vegetables, bananas, plantains. So we have that going on as well. It's called Community Hope Farm. So that is going on, and it gives me joy because I'm letting women know that you guys are already resilient. You are already very intelligent. You can do it. All you need is a little help. So that's what we're doing. Now, every year we do free medical clinic, and the money people donate, if you look at our website, you will see, the clinics we do every single year. That money, that's where your money goes to too. So we have different, projects that we're running, and we're hoping that, people support us as we run these different projects. It all boils down to providing care for the mother and the baby. And in that way, we are providing care to the whole family. So that's how our money donations we get, that's how we spend it.
How different, and this is just a bonus question because it just kind of came to my mind. How different is the training for doulas and midwives? Is it between America and Africa? Are there more things that the women have to deal with in Africa? Is there a different training that they have to go through in the dual countries and the separate countries?
So the only difference, the curriculum is pretty much the same. And that's why when you come over here, they want you to take care of the board exam, do the board exam again to get yourself recertified. But the main training, and I'm really glad that I did my training as a midwife in my country, because it helped me to really work with the women from the grassroots. You want to work with women where they are. The midwives here who are training here don't get that opportunity. You want to work with women and start, even as a student, learn how to deliver women. Here, because of all this competition, student midwives don't get the opportunity to have deliveries as much as they should, to really prepare them when they get into that birthing force. Like in my country, before you are certified as a midwife, you would have delivered 30 babies.
Wow.
30. Here, you can graduate without ever touching a woman. You can graduate because you don't really get, one is you're not getting a lot of cases, a lot of women are no longer getting pregnant and all that. And if they do, they're being hijacked by doctors. So you don't really have that opportunity to learn all you need to learn about, from pregnancy day 1 to pregnancy the 9th month, or sometimes 10 months. Some people, carry their babies for 10 months too. So that
was my mom.
Okay. So yeah, that practice is lacking. But the other thing is, in the United States and elsewhere in the Western world, there's all kinds of technologies, innovation, which is good. Don't get me wrong, but it takes away that human touch. Most cases, the things of you can do with your hands, or rubbing the woman and supporting her back rub and everything, they're getting off of that because the staff is not even doesn't have that enough time to really accompany this woman. And that's why we're pushing back and bringing doulas. Because a doula, a midwife, can actually have enough time to walk through with that, do that back rub, help the woman to climb downstairs and come upstairs. You can't do that here that much because of time. You don't even have any. One nurse may have be in charge of how many cases, and she doesn't really have time. Most of the time, she's glued to the computer, instead of the patient. So those are all the differences that if I were really to have babies, I'd rather have it with somebody who can really touch me and help me, because that's what it's all about, than looking at the computer and doing all kinds of maneuvers, and just talking to me. So yeah, that's the difference. Here you have a lot of advancement technology-wise, but the human touch is lacking. And for me, that's really very critical.
Well, You know what, Zita, this is amazing. Usually we sit here and we talk about 30 minutes with the mission partners and everything, and we just crossed 1 hour talking to you, which is fantastic. But you know, what you're doing is so intriguing, and I think that it is just I think that it's something that we've got two women on here who can justify the need for it, and I think that there are so many women who when they hear this, they're going to go, geez, I wish I would have known about this
I
earlier,
know.
you know, and maybe things could have been different, and
Mhm.
you know, I truly hope that that's not, you know, I truly hope it doesn't make anybody depressed when they hear it, but I think it helps educate them.
Yeah, and I try to tell women, you know, you don't have to feel bad about this because you didn't know. You
Yeah,
know, you didn't know it, you didn't know it. And that's why we're here trying to help you now to know it. That way you can talk to your own children when that time comes to tell them what you learned. No, it's
right.
not a blame, you know, game. No, it's education. It's creating
Yep.
awareness. And you see, that's another thing women really take stuff really to heart. And they're like, oh my gosh, I failed. I didn't do. No, it's not, nobody's blaming you. We want you to understand what is going on, what the culture, the medical culture is creating right now that is not really life giving, in my own opinion.
Yep. Well, you know what? Like I said, just amazing story. Your mom became one of my heroes when I first heard that. You know,
Thank
there's
you.
I've got a list of heroes, and your mother is definitely on that list now. You know, it's your mom and the guy who opened Dairy Queen. She's even above him. So, you know, um, but it's amazing the stories that you tell. It's amazing what you're trying to do. Zita, how do people get a hold of you?
So I have my website. It's www.zitahealthy.org. I have an email address, IZYIWUOHA at yahoo.co. It's not .com, co company.uk. And I'm on LinkedIn as Zita. I am also on. I'm everywhere really. So I'm on Instagram. I'm on WhatsApp. Just search me. You will find me. Zita's Healthy Beginnings or Zita World of Women podcast, where women thrive, is where I also like to talk about what we do and who we are, and really to applaud my women like Stephanie, who really, they know what they need, they know who they are, and they're really living it every single day. So
Well,
yeah.
I think that if Stephanie doesn't have anything to do on Tuesday, I think I know where she should be. You know, because I think that could be a really good conversation, and
Yeah,
I
that's
think
right.
that you know, so yeah, just not trying to, you know, not trying to fill your schedule or anything, Steph, but you know, I think that this could help. I
No,
mean,
it would be good, Stephanie. Whenever you have the time on a Tuesday, please, let's just have that. Really, you and I can really make a good nonprofit organization. And as I'm talking, you're telling them, yeah, I experienced that too. So, you know.
We'll talk. We'll talk,
yeah,
Missy.
Yes,
For
yes,
you,
sure.
yes.
you know, all I was thinking about is if there was anybody who's just gleaming and glowing midwife, it's going to be Stephanie. I mean, you know what's going on, and
Right.
I think that we're, you know, selling wine at night, helping moms during the day. You know,
I
you're
know.
already Superwoman. Let's give you that you know, that hidden character. You know, uh,
Right.
so you know, like I said, not trying to change your life or anything, but I think we got something here.
Zeta's the one changing lives over here and
Yeah.
saving them. So
Well,
for
you know,
sure.
like I
She's
said, yeah. Zita, this is the time that if you have to go, you're more than
Yeah.
welcome to go. Stephanie and I can finish up with what we've
Sure.
got here.
Sure.
But I want to make sure that everybody understands that this right here, that little QR code is it's the way that you can support this great woman and the work that she's doing, and you can make sure that they keep going. All you have to do is go onto that QR code and you can get some of the best wines around. Stephanie's going to tell you about some of these wines, but I mean, you're talking real names in the wine game. Okay. You're talking about people who don't, this isn't the stuff that you buy in a box and for $1.50 and have the friends over like you did with your Boone's Farm, back in the high school days. This is some really quality, good, great wine. So, but Zita, I wanted to thank you again for joining us. Congratulations on everything you're doing. Please keep up the great work. And I look forward to the next time that we get to speak.
Sure. Thank you so much, Zach. Thank you, Stephanie. And
So nice
good luck.
meeting you.
I know that you're going to have your baby well and sound, and we'll celebrate. So
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right.
Yes,
Have a
we
good
will.
night.
Goodbye, Zita. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's amazing. I
She's
mean, like
awesome.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
like I said,
I could talk to her all day, Zach.
well, I looked up at the time and I was like going, oh my God, we've already had her on. We've already taken an hour of her time. Oh Lord, what are we doing here? And, usually by this time I'm blabbering about something else. Our whole show was done.
That's
But
okay.
this time
It's
it
so
ran
important, though, for
yeah,
the audience to hear from her.
Yeah. I mean, this time everything ran so smoothly that there was no, oh God, we got to stretch it out. It was just comfortable. So, your experiences with this really, in my humble opinion, really took and added to what she was saying. I mean, I think that your stories alone just really kind of push the importance of what she is doing. And I know for a fact that it took and it made it to you, it touched your heart. And I think that is one of the reasons why this is such a great mission to have right now.
She's wonderful, and each person is different. Their care is different. And for her to touch upon that, not only their care, but what the woman actually wants, it's so important. And in those critical times, it's so important to have somebody that understands on your side. They're vouching for you, all the things. I think the only thing my husband probably knows out of my birth plan is like, don't cut her open unless there's something wrong with the baby. Like everything else, he has no idea, So to have somebody that knows you, that understands, that's been through the journey with you, and then she supports them afterwards. And that is so critical too for brand new parents that have no experience at all. I mean, my husband wouldn't pick up the baby to give him a bath for a while. Oh, he's too small. I'm afraid I'm going to hurt him, you know? So important. So.
And the postpartum depression is something that it's a serious thing, issue. I mean, it is something that it's, I think a lot of people take it and they just think about it and they're like going, whatever, they can get. No, this is something that it's very serious. And if you don't get it treated right, it can, I've personally watched it turn someone into something completely different and just turn a great person into something that was not healthy.
I know we talked a lot about during birth tonight, but you're right. After the fact, your whole life has changed. You're bringing home a baby. Your house life, your home life is different. Your body's going through changes. You've gained all that weight with the pregnancy. Your hormones are all over the place. Like everything is different. I remember just trying to feed the baby and get my rest in, and, not even thinking of food, so, a new mom that just came home, send her some food, because anything easy that she could just pop in the microwave and eat is really necessary in the beginning. But she
Yep.
does things like that. Like, she makes sure the mother's taken care of in that way. And so important.
Well, we like I said, this was such a wonderful show. And we've got more to do. You've got some great Valentine's packages that you're going to be talking about in a minute. Hey, everybody, I really need to shout out a couple people. One of them being my buddy Z at Z World Webs. Look, I can honestly say there probably would not be a community Pay It Forward without the support of Mr. Z and the work that he does. You can go to communitypayitforward.us and you can see his wonderful work. If you need a computer, or if you if you need a website, this is one of the people that I highly suggest you go to. Z is also one of our wonderful family partners, and anytime that you use his service, he will donate to the mission of your choosing, such as Zita's Healthy Beginnings. So all you got to do is simply hire Z, and a portion of your sales can go to wonderful causes like Zita's Healthy Beginnings. So please, please, please check out Z World Webs. All right, we are back once again. I want to thank our partners. They keep us running. They keep us going, and I think it's my program wouldn't work without them. And Stephanie, my program would not run without you. What you do to help us out is so fantastic. One of the things that you've done is you've helped us by supporting and by sponsoring Community Mission to Rescue 22. And I think that's super, super, super kind of you. And I know that it's something that also touches your heart. Your husband and yourself, you guys have a plans in the future, and we're not gonna say a whole lot about it, but you guys have plans in the future to where you guys can be doing stuff that can really help and support those who have put their name on a contract and join the service.
I am really grateful for this partnership, Zach. I'm so glad that we got connected and we're able to do this show. And I cannot wait for your show next month. Yes, we do have a lot of plans. Won't say too much here, but veterans need housing, and that's my husband has a real skill, and working out a way to get more off the street and some housing up for them too. So,
well, I can't thank you, and I can't wait to someday meet this husband of yours. I don't even know if he's real. Actually, you know what? If it wasn't for you being
I'm
pregnant,
expecting a baby, Zach.
yeah. Well, you know, according to the good book, it's happened before. So let's, you know. but anyway, I really I can't wait to meet your husband someday. But one of the things that you and I are doing, let's go on ahead and just announce it for next month. And what we're going to be doing is we're basically supersizing our monthly event. And everybody that we are going to be benefiting next month, you can see a couple of them behind us with our good buddy Bart, Veterans Honoring Veterans, JR Veterans Ranch, Brian with Project Die Hard, Hope Advanced, VWAS, and so many more. We are going to have them be the beneficiaries of this program. We're going to try to bring a couple of them on twice next month, but starting in February, everybody that we're working with on Community Mission to Rescue 22, they're going to have their own QR code to where you get to choose where that money goes. So, and just to let you know, when you buy from these QR codes, there's not a cent that comes to Community Pay It Forward, not one penny. And we are thrilled about this because this really shows that, damn it, this is for our heroes. And I am so proud to be able to say, you know what? We do this because we love we love Zita. We love, you know, all of these people who are coming in. We love what they do. And we're damn proud to be able to help support them. So, Stephanie, you are stepping up. You are doing something wonderful by helping us out with this. And I cannot thank you enough for all that you do.
No, thank you so much, Zach. I cannot wait to bring the and really encourage everybody to watch your show. 22 hours, and if they can take 20 minutes out of their day just to hear a segment, a little portion, I think it could really change things.
Take 22 minutes, and you know what? Starting on February 1st, choose one of those missions to support. Take and go back in, choose a second one, and then choose a third one. Buy bottles of wine and support these veteran causes, because every single one of these veteran causes helps to save veteran lives. It's really, really important. Also, on the 19th of February, a great friend of mine, you can see her right there, Carolyn from Pampered Chef, is going to be hosting a party. And this party is all about what we're doing here. And as a matter of fact, guess what? You can start buying right now and it'll benefit. She has opened this up to where you buy today, it supports us throughout this whole mission of ours, the community mission to Rescue 22. So go on. You can, if you need a catalog, give me shoot me out an email or a text message or whatever you want, and I'll get you a catalog, and you can buy today and support these causes, because that's what we're all about. So
that's exciting. I love Pampered Chef.
Well, there you go. On 19th, make sure that you join us. It's going to be at 4:00 your time. So and it's going to be about an hour, and Carolyn is going to cook up some chili, and she said maybe even some jambalaya, because I'm a huge sausage fan. Unfortunately, she's in the Dallas area, so I'm going to be a huge sausage fan, sitting here getting very, very hungry, watching her cook great stuff in great kitchenware. So
I love that. You're segmenting right into my portion, Zach. You're with the food, the wine, all the things.
Yep. And we are. So at this time, I would like to introduce you to the goddess of the grape, Stephanie Samos.
Thank you, Zach. Zita, hearing from her was amazing. I'm happy to be here. And I know that you touched upon the wine a little bit, and you did a great job, Zach, explaining things earlier. If you're watching this for the first time, my name is Stephanie Samos. I am a cause entrepreneur with One Hope Wine. So what that actually means is I sell wine that gives back to charity year round. And through this award-winning Napa Valley wine, which, yes, I know you mentioned, Zach, we have some really incredible winemakers. We have award-winning wine that ships right to your door, and 10% of any purchase is going to give back to Zita's. So really, really incredible. Valentine's Day is around the corner. What better time to kind of stock up on some wine, get some gifts in order. And thank you for my famous title that you've given me, Zach. But our winemakers, Robert Mondavi Jr., who you may be familiar with, Mari Wells Coyle, who is our head winemaker, and Tony Coltrane, who came over from Opus One. Really incredible people in the winemaking industry. And to date, we've donated over $9 million. You know, every single bottle of wine donates back to make a difference. So
every time you say that, I just get chills. I cannot wait until we're in that rarefied air, because that is just fan-freaking-tastic. $9 million.
And we can't do it alone. You know, it's through shows like this. It's through bringing on nonprofit organizations and making the community aware that kind of brings people together, you know, and wine does that. It brings people together, and it could do, you know, really great things in the process too. So that's what I love. I say that we have this incredible platform to be able to support the causes that are most important to us. But enough about that. Let's dive in and talk Valentine's Day.
Actually, one additional thing I would like for you to bring up, and you are hoping to get people who are looking to pad their wallets a little bit. You're hoping to get them to come on board as well.
So there's different ways that you can kind of give back alongside me, right? Our wine club is a great way, and you can select the frequency of how often you need wine and how much through our wine club. And through that, you can select the charities that you want to give back to through each purchase, which is amazing. So Zach and I don't have to have this monthly campaign for that organization. Maybe, you know, a few months from now, you might want to support Zita's again. You can do that. You can put them right into your account and make sure that your donation goes right to Zita's, which is amazing. You can host an event with us.
Uh-oh.
I'm losing.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. So, well, it sounds like you're kind of there, but I don't. Uh-oh. I don't know what is going on. Okay, we're kind of coming in now.
I see you. Yep. Can you hear me? We're good?
I can hear you.
Perfect. So, yep, there are other cause entrepreneurs like myself across the U.S. that, you know, fundraise. I can only do so many fundraisers in a month, and the more of us that come together, you know, the bigger the donations that are going out. So yes, let's dive in. I know I touched upon gift sets the last time we spoke, Zach, and I mentioned Valentine's Day. So I thought it would be really fun to kind of dive into not so much wine and pairings tonight, but actual gift sets that I wanted to highlight just to kind of show for the upcoming holiday. What do you think?
I think it's great. I love this first one here. I love everything that's involved with it. I love it for my wife. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I like to experiment with her on getting her different coffees and stuff just to see how she likes them. So
I love it. I'm gonna get to that wine and grind in just a second. But what I love so much about gifting is that you can customize your gifts. So you can add gift sets to any one or more bottles of wine. So let's say you go to Zita's link, You can get one bottle, you can get 4, you can get a whole case, and it just takes all the different gift set add-ons. So I love that the gifts could be customized because you can kind of curate it to the taste of your loved one or your gift recipient, whoever that may be. So it adds flexibility with taste and budget too.
There you go.
Plus the purchase gives back. So the gift sets also give back. It's not just the wine, it's the whole purchase. And when wine starts at just $20 per bottle without the box discounts, which I always encourage you guys, get the discounts, don't pay retail. And the gift sets start at just $30. You can mix and match depending on what your loved one enjoys. So one other note is that if you are a wine club member, and if you're not already, you could be, you can enroll with your first purchase, 4 or more bottles, and you can enroll in wine club. The gifts also ship free. So not only does your wine ship free, but so do your gifts. So they ride right alongside with your wine. Really, really fun. Okay, let's get into the wine and grind. I know for me, I feel like I go from coffee to wine. Not wine right now because I'm pregnant, but usually coffee helps fuel my day, especially with the kids. And that gets me to wine time. You're not a coffee guy, huh, Zach?
No. Coffee for me, Diet Pepsi. So
okay, that works. So I think that this one is really fun. This set includes a wine opener, a mini Cabernet Sauvignon bottle in there. You get a breakfast blend coffee and a large coffee mug. So with the coffee mug, Zach, you can definitely, put the diet so in there. You can do tea, you can do anything hot. But that's kind of, then you have that keepsake after the coffee.
I do hot chocolate, and I love this cup because it reminds me of the old tin cups. Okay, and that just reminds me of my grandfather. It just looks like those old tin cups, and the ones that are blue and had the white specks on it. That really reminds me of that. So.
It's a nice large coffee mug. I don't like the small ones. I like the nice good size ones. So that's a fun set. And I kind of mix this up a little bit. So the next one that I'm going to talk about is actually the Kendra Scott gift set. So if you have that person that wants the jewelry for Valentine's Day, your jewelry can give back to Zita's this year also. So you can gift the one you love this Valentine's Day with this beautiful iridescent druzy pendant necklace. This also comes with a mother of pearl small votive candle. So Kendra Scott, lovely necklace, and that's one that kind of matches and can be worn with anything. It could be dressed up and dressed down. So lots of fun, and who doesn't like some jewelry for Valentine's Day? So there you go. We've got that too.
Jewelry and wine seems fitting to me.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of touch on both sides there with the jewelry and the wine, but one of my favorites is the next one. The next one is actually, I'm not sure about you, Zach, but pizza nights are like my favorite. Are you a pizza guy?
Yeah, I'm good with pizza. Yeah, I can do a pizza night. Yeah. I'm good with that. So
we definitely look forward to those around here. So this one could be paired with any wine. If you're going to throw some meats on your pizza, definitely I would go with a red. But pizza's fun with whites as well. This fun pizza set includes your pizza dough, your pizza sauce. You get a recipe card with that gift set. You get some artisan salt and also a pot holder. So it's a fun to kind of bring pizza night in. I could see pizza, wine, and movie night. How about you?
Yep. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Fun night.
And we got one more. Oh, yeah. This is mine. This is the one I like.
We have one. Yep. So the last, and now we do have more than just the 4 that I'm talking about tonight. So definitely jump on Zita's link and check it out. But the last one that I'll talk about is the artisan gift set. Yum. All I have to say is you had me at the cheese.
Yep. Pepper jack right there. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You can create a really cute charcuterie board and pair it with your favorite wine, and it's like a perfect snack. So this gift set includes the jalapeno Monterey Jack cheese. You get a mini serving spoon, an olive spread, rustic artisan crisps, and some salami with this one. Also, pair it with your favorite wine, and boom, perfect little charcuterie board.
Yeah, I think I like that one. So
Zach's been held up on the cheese, I think, since he saw the picture.
Yeah, as soon as she sent me this, I was like going, Pepper Jack, I'm in. I'm all in. I'm in. You know, just it shows who I am, I guess. So just showing that Pepper Jack. And once again, folks, you can find these and all the other deals when you go to this QR code, and all it does is go for good. You know, everything that you buy when you utilize this QR code is going to help mothers and train these midwives that you've heard how important they are. You've heard from both of our guests, both our co-host and our guest this month, how important this is. And guys, I challenge you. Let's be truthful here. Did you know what a midwife does? Did you know what a doula does? Because I thought I did. Boy, was I wrong. And you know, I never knew how important they were until this month. And it thrills me to be able to say now I know that much, because I'm pretty sure that there's so much more that they do. And Stephanie, I love the fact that you mentioned that, you know what, your husband probably knows, don't cut her open unless there's danger. But there's so many other things that go into the whole process that your husband, he's not going to be able to remember or even know. And I, you know, so I mean, the knowing what's going on, I think it's amazing. Amazing stories tonight. Just amazing facts. And I mean, this has truly been one of the most educational programs that I think that we've had, and we've had some very educational programs before. So I'm asking, maybe this much begging you to please scan this code, find out what all you can do, what all you can buy. As we've been saying, Valentine's Day is coming up. You know what? What better way than to celebrate with some of these great gifts? And I love that one. That one looks so pretty. And I also, I'm a scented candle guy.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome. I love it.
So,
and if you're not on our Facebook page where we are running our monthly campaigns, definitely join us there on Community Pay It Forward, One Hope Fundraiser. You can type that into the search bar, or you can copy the link that Zach is sharing there. Join us there. You know, our monthly campaigns, the links are right there on the page. And we share some fun recipes and pairings there as well. Any current, you know, sales that are going on or promotions, I post there also. But it's a way to connect Zach and I. If you have any questions, you know, if you have any questions or suggestions for a nonprofit to bring on the show, or maybe you are with a nonprofit and you'd like to be on the show, you know, it's a great place to connect with us. Or if you need a wine recommendation, I'm there for that too.
And Stephanie always shares recipes. She always shares pairings. She always does all these wonderful things on that page. And we invite you, you know what? Give us your experience with whatever you've bought from One Hope Wines. You tell us what you bought. Give us, you know, to say, hey, you know what? This is what we did with it, and it went perfect. Or you know, I bought these 2 bottles. I prefer this one over this one. Let us know. You know, let other people know. Be a wine aficionado by letting other people know what your preferences are, what your experiences are. You know, we wanted to make an interactive page, and you can learn a lot from some of our past missions, and it's just a great place to go and learn about wine and causes that are out there that could really use your help. So, Stephanie, I thank you. You did such a fantastic job tonight. I am, so thrilled that we got to announce the news that I've been sitting here biting my fingertips on, going, "Shut up! Don't say it! Don't say it! Don't say it!" So, I am so glad, and I'm so happy for you, and your husband. You guys also, in which I wish I had this down and I do not. Stephanie, you've also opened a service to where people can get some items. Do you want to tell us a little about that before you go?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're in Northeast Pennsylvania, and we have a local contract company here, and that's what I was kind of to her when I said my husband's got some skills, and it's been something we've been thinking about for a long time, is kind of bringing items to our clients for a little bit less, right? A lot of our clients, are constantly remodeling homes, and, we do live in an area where the Poconos is pretty popular. So some of our clients have Airbnbs and things like that, but we wanted to be able to bring items to the community also that were more affordable. And this thought came into fruition a few years ago, but things kind of fell into place just recently. And I think at even a better time, because if you look at the stores right now, everything is super, super expensive, from gas to groceries to, people are joking about the price of eggs right now, right? So
there's no joke about that.
So the thought of home improvements to some is a stretch, right? So what we're trying to do is offer home improvement items for less. Some of the items that are larger or more fragile will be local pickup, but we are going to be shipping items as well. So yes, so that is our group on Facebook. Thank you for, highlighting that, Zach. That's awesome. But we're hoping to, use this from a business standpoint to help propel things, going forward with getting some cabins in order for veterans also. So, kind of connecting all the dots, if you will. And I feel like it's a good connection too.
Well, I think that this is a great place to get started. I know that you're also, you and I have talked, and if somebody is in a bad situation and they're looking for something, God forbid, say that there's something that happens. By the way, right here is the link for the page. So please click on this, and and you can check out this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful situation. But if somebody is having a real emergency issue, get a hold of us and we'll see what we can do together. Now, not everything is going to be for free, but you know what? We can still try to work and help you out, because that's what Stephanie and I got together. That's what we're doing, is just trying to help people out. So please, check out Stephanie's page here, support her, trying to get this up and running, because it is going to lead to something that is so much needed, so much bigger and grander in scale. And I think that this is a great place to start. Stephanie, my dear, thank you so much tonight for the extra time. You worked time and a half, so we'll double your pay.
My time is volunteered, Zach, but thank you so much for having me. It was great.
That's good, because I couldn't afford to double your pay, and you don't get nothing for this, so I couldn't afford to give you double of nothing. That's the sad thing.
No, it was a pleasure to be here. Great to hear from Zita, and I'm looking forward to finishing this month strong with a nice donation for her organization, and propel right into next month with bringing all the guys back together with those awesome organizations that we've heard from before.
And the great thing about this is just that we're going to be able to introduce all of them to you guys, but not only that, but introduce them to each other, because there's so many of these individuals that when they work together, they, I mean, you saw it, you saw it when we had Jess and Bart on, how Bart was so willing to try to help Jess and her program. And, it's just when we bring these nonprofits together, sometimes it's a little difficult for them to work together. They're like, well, what are you doing? What I'm doing? But this is a situation where the ends are so much more important. The ending of, the ending product of these these programs, when they work together, it is so much more important than individual status or individuals. This is about saving the lives of our men and women who join the service and were put into difficult situations, and a lot of them are coming out and they're like, well, this isn't the world that I want to be in, and so they decide to take and make an end to life decision. And it is so important that we support them. And so, Stephanie, you got quite a bit of work to do on this next one, and we're going to get started on introducing that. But please make sure you keep going this month for Zita. This month and thereafter, Zita is going to be available to you. But please keep supporting Stephanie, keep supporting Zita, and just make sure that, this can all happen when we come together. Stephanie, again, thank you so much. Congratulations. I am so glad that we got to announce this right here on pACT. And I think I'm so proud. I feel like a distant uncle for some stupid reason, but, I really do. So,
Thank you so much.
I'm so happy for you guys, and we got to get your daughter to where she's not camera shy one of these times, so she can, the story that you told me about your daughter wanting a baby sister the first time she was like
she cried when we found out it was a boy.
Yeah, and now this time she wanted a brother, and you're having a daughter, correct?
Yeah. Yep. And we did find out that we're having a little girl, and I think she's going to be fine once the baby's here. She's got a really close connection with her father, and I think that she thinks having another girl in the house is going to compromise that, and nothing ever will. So I think once the baby's here, she's going to snap right into big sister mode, just like she did with her baby brother. So
well, I think she's going to do, wonderful, and especially as soon as she's no longer camera shy. But we're going to let you go for now. Thank you again, and I will talk to you. What is the first? I don't even know what the first Wednesday is in February. Geez, it is the first. The first Wednesday in February is the first, so we will be talking to you then. Perfect.
Have a great night. Thank you for having me, and talk soon. Cheers, everyone.
All right. Thank you. Please make sure that you get a hold of Stephanie with anything and everything that you've got. She's there for questions. She's there for answers. She's there for whatever. Again, one of the absolute kindest people I have ever met in my life. She's seriously, she is so supportive of everything that we do. And I agree with you, Stephanie. I love her. I think it was a great show. A lot of important messages. So we are going to take a minute and focus. We told you about the Samosa family being supportive of community mission to Rescue 22. I also want to thank our other partners. We've got O'Sullivan Law Firm and Ryder Justice. Scott has been a great friend to me since before the program started. Scott he's an injury attorney in Denver, and the guy is he truly does care. We've sent him a couple of people who have been injured, and they've been very happy. And honestly, it's one of those situations where, you know what, it's not the easiest time of your life. So, you know, you're injured, and things happen to where you can't pay bills because, you know, all of a sudden the doctor forgets to put a check mark in a spot, and short-term disability goes, oh no, we got to wait for a doctor again. Here I go bashing on health insurance, you know, but it is what it is. But you know, it's a difficult situation, but Scott gets in there and he tries really hard to take and get things covered. Scott does believe in taking cases to trial because you'll get a much better outcome when you get wrongfully injured. So if you're in the Denver area, in Colorado, he comes up north, he goes down south. Scott will travel. You just give him a call. I also want to thank Auxilia donor program. The emails that we send you every week, twice a week. A lot of the programs that we do, the event program that we sent you. Sorry, I got to do this. I whacked my camera out of focus. So yeah, there. Now I'm crystal clear again. Lucky you. All of that stuff is built by Auxilia. They have a way to keep your all of your donors in line and help you make sure that you're able to be responsive to them. Sean, you guys see me on Sean's show every Friday. I'm his button monkey. I'm behind the scenes. It's 5 o'clock East, 3 o'clock Mountain, 2 o'clock Pacific. You know, last week we were able to travel through time, or actually earlier this week. You know, it was Monday when we started the show. It was Tuesday when we ended it. Okay, so we had a guest from Australia. It was Tuesday for him. Things happen like that. I also want to thank Z World Webs. As I've mentioned before, Z is not just a great family partner. He's a great friend. He and I have built a friendship and a partnership on the dollar store and so much more. 93.5, the Pirate Radio. Sue is. I can't say enough about Sue. She created a chili. She came out and she won the chili cook-off for Christmas. She has me on her show as a guest appearance, and I get to give my best. Arg. I forgot the G part. So Sue is on every morning. She is the cruise director. Yeah, cruise director Sue. Just wonderful lady, beautiful heart, love her to death. Carolyn Rasmussen with Pampered Chef. She is going to host this party on the 19th, the weekend before the 22-hour podcast. And, you know, it's just, I can't thank her enough for doing that. You know, this is going to be a way that, you know, say for some reason you can't dedicate the 22 minutes we're asking you to dedicate to the show. Go on Sunday. Check it out. We tried to make it at a time where we weren't interfering with family lunches and we weren't getting into family dinner time. So, you know, Pacific, we're at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday, which is cutting a little bit close, but, you know, we had to do what we had to do. So just check it out. SCA Bookkeeping. Great partner. Sandy Abate is a great partner, great friend. She's been a partner now for almost a year. Bookkeeping is something that is ever changing and always difficult. And if you don't if you don't understand the math, if you don't understand the rules, you got to watch out. So give Sandy from SCA Bookkeeping, give her a call. She can do your books no matter where she is. Cape Cod Happy Medium. This is coming from the other half of my life. She's a great friend. I met her through Sean. She's on every the last Monday of every month. I believe that's true. I can't remember if it's Friday or Monday. I think it might be it's on the last one day of every month, but giving some readings. This is the other part of my life that my beautiful bride brought into my life, and the paranormal field. So if you ever wanted to check out some of the paranormal stuff, I invite you to come with us. Another great place to be is Things Network, right here on Facebook, and wherever you're watching me, just check out Things Network. Jeremy does a wonderful job with that, mixing up his programming. My wife's on a great show tomorrow night, starting at 8 o'clock Eastern. Check it out. It's on Things Network. They get a little goofy at times. They have a lot of fun, and they got some great news in the paranormal world. I'm not going to mention it. I'm going to let them talk about it, but they got some great news for all of you people who are interested in doing the whole ghost hunting thing. And let me tell you, it's kind of fun to do. It really is. It's interesting to learn. And again, you guys know I'm a history buff, and that's one of the reasons why we do the Save Our History. These walls can talk, because it's not just the ghosts that are going to talk in the walls. When you tear down a wall, you're tearing down history. If you study that history rather than taking it down, you're going to learn something. These walls can talk. Let's save our history. Let's stop these people from coming in and destroying all this stuff, and we lose that history. So I want to talk about the beneficiaries right now. We got a couple of them, like Hope Advanced, which helps with background checks. Once again, starting on the 1st, all of these are going to have the little QR code that you get to take, and you get to punch those up. And when you do that, and when you buy wine with Stephanie, you're going to benefit these groups. VWAS, Veteran Warrior One Stop Shop. Great friend. He just rejoined the company today. We're so proud to have him back. He's going to also be joining us for a little bit on the 22nd. Veterans Honoring Veterans. You guys remember Bart? Great guy. Love him to death. He's like the younger version of what I want to be in the future. Project Die Hard. You guys see me talking to Brian all the time. Brian is involved, and you also know JR from the Veterans Ranch. Those are just a few of the people. That's kind of where we're at right now. We're also looking to and hoping to get some of the other ones that we've had on, like Healing Warriors, the Veterans Plaza, some of these other ones. We're hoping to get them on. So please make sure that you check them out. And again, the 1st is a very, very important day. That's when all of these QR codes are going to be coming out. So please make sure that you join us on that day. Again, I want to thank all of my sponsors. I want to thank all of the people who are participating. If you have a story that can help somebody who's making a life-ending decision, we want to hear from you. Okay, when we're not asking everybody to come in and throw money at us. That's not what this is about. This is about starting that conversation. This is about finding these organizations, like these great organizations I just mentioned. It's about introducing these individuals who are struggling. It's about introducing them to people who are out there who are struggling, who don't know what to do. getting them to these programs and saying, you know what, they can help you. I'm not here to help, I don't know if I can help the problems that you're going through, but I'll guarantee you these people can. Let's get them to there. Let's help them talk. Let's get them to the people who can listen, to the ones who are trained, the ones who are there to help them. So if you have a story that ended well, we want to hear from you. If you have a story that's heartbreaking, we want to hear from you. Funny, sad, whatever the stories are, we want to hear, because these are stories that are real. These are stories that are going to impact. These are the stories that we need for people to hear. If you have a story and you want to tell us, just reach out to me on my For My Card. ForMyCard.net. Just type in ForMyCard.net, Zach Clayton, and it's gonna my info is gonna pop up. I'm going to run a couple more spots here real quick. Give some thanks to a couple people. This one is one that's very important to all my business friends out there. If you run a small to medium business and you stuck it out through COVID, you were able to do business. Business changed. We know business changed. But if you have W-2 employees, you were able to keep them working, call this guy, because this guy will get you money. Hello, I'm Zach Clayton of Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channels. We have two choices. We can either sit around and hope this goes away on its own, or we together can do something about it. Join me and my wonderful sponsor partners, Scott O'Sullivan Law Firm and Rider Justice, Z World Webs, Auxilia Donor Management Systems, and Autumn Dahlia Creative Services, as we introduce programs from around the country aimed at helping our veterans and discuss the importance of conversation and listening. Together, you and I can move mountains. Let's save lives. That's it, folks. That's the show. Thank you very much for this week. Please remember to love somebody out there, because somebody out here loves you. Remember, if you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. So let's all come together, because nobody has to go it alone when we work together. We will be back on Friday. On Friday, we are just going to probably replay the 2 episodes that I wanted to play tonight, but we filled your heart with Zita of Zita's Healthy Beginnings. So thank you very much. We will see you next week. Until then, please remember to love everyone out there, because you know what? We're all we got. Let's make sure that we're helping each other. Thank you very much. My name is Zach Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the pACT channels.
Stepping out of her fear, bring me home. Out alone, show me the way. You wanna be be a part of Sunset Boulevard.